a little out of order, right? Yeah, thank you very much. This is really a great day for us here in San Leandro, and I'm really happy to be here today. And I'd like to thank Steve very much for putting this program on. Today we are here to speak out against George Bush's misadventure in Iraq. It is time to stop the carnage and bring the troops home. The war has caused the deaths of over 3,000 Americans and thousands of Iraqis. It has resulted in more than 25,000 American casualties, along with hundreds of thousands of Iraqi casualties. It has led to about 1 million refugees, so I'm led to understand. And while George Bush has his eye on Iran and Syria, these countries would like nothing better than to relocate those Iraqis who have moved to their countries while escaping the carnage of their homeland. Bush states that this is not a war about oil, but both the UK and the US have moved a controversial hydrocarbon law in Iraq, which will line the pockets of BP, Exxon, and Shell oil companies. There's an article that I have read from the Independent, which talks about Iraq poised to end drought for thirsting oil giants. And those giants happen to be the major oil companies and not those of us who are paying high gas prices. Also, I don't know how many of you read yesterday's Chronicle, but if you did, you will note that it had an article talking about living with the scars of war. And it noted a GI who suffered brain damage, and all he wants to do is drive the new truck he purchased before he went off to Iraq. And it's kind of a sad commentary on what is going on today. And what I'd like to do is, I believe it is time that we call on the president to end this war in Vietnam. In closing, I'm going to quote Martin Luther King, whose birthday we celebrate today. In 1967, I don't know if any of you recall that, Martin Luther King came out in opposition to the Vietnam War. And actually a lot of his supporters suggested to him that he should not do so. And I guess this is a similarity as to what is happening today, with a lot of people not making a commitment to do whatever they possibly can to end this war. Martin Luther King in April of '67 said, and I'm reading from an article again, which was in today's Chronicle, the editorial page by Cynthia Tucker, and I hope she doesn't mind my reading this capture. I have moved to break the betrayal of my own silences and to speak from the burnings of my own heart. I knew I could never again raise my voice against the violence of the oppressed in the ghettos without having first spoken clearly to the greatest purveyor of violence in the world today, my own government. Thank you. Oh, I'm here. I'm here to introduce Supervisor Alice Leibitker.